Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, addressed world leaders on September 22nd, 2025 at the Global Renewables Summit during Climate Week New York, highlighting the Bahamas' commitment to renewable energy abundance to combat climate change.
Together, we are here because we share a sense of urgency and a sense of possibility. We know a failure to create renewable energy abundance in the coming years could easily be catastrophic. But we see also that a future characterized by energy abundance can be one of great flourishing, a new era of progress in which we can all move forward together. Many of you are working hard to create this future, and because of your work, clean energy technology is improving, and the competitiveness and economics of renewables are improving too. In the Bahamas, we initiated and are now overseeing my country's first comprehensive nationwide energy reforms, which is to say that I know firsthand the complexity of the challenges and the sweat and tears still required to overcome them. We needed to modernize our country's energy laws and regulations. We needed to take into account the diverse energy needs of a population scattered across an archipelago. We needed to upgrade our grid so that it can transmit solar energy, and we needed to confront the reality of energy generation itself, shifting away from near total dependence on imported fossil fuels. The IMF has described our reform efforts as ambitious and positive, noting their potential to strengthen resilience and competitiveness while addressing long-standing vulnerabilities that existed. That independent valuation reminds us that while the path is difficult, it is also the right one to take. We are confident that energy reform will transform communities and our economy, but the path is not easy, and like everyone else, we will continue to navigate technical and supply chain challenges. The biggest challenges for countries like ours, though, are financial. 4 Category 4 and Category 5 hurricanes over the course of less than a single decade took billions out of our economy, making it difficult, ironically, to invest in our energy transition and in climate resilience. We are carrying the burden of storms already endured, while also paying for those yet to come. The toll is not only measured in billions of dollars in damages, but also in the higher interest rates and insurance premiums that reflect the risk we live with every day. These challenges are playing out in many nations, particularly small island developing states like ours. So how can we accelerate a global transition to renewable energy abundance? I want to suggest one important piece of the puzzle, which is to reframe the climate debates. We need to be the most passionate and effective evangelists for the proposition that energy reforms will expand our possibilities, not limit them. We need decision makers everywhere to understand that replacing fossil fuels with renewable energy will not come at the expense of prosperity, but a prerequisite for future prosperity. We will never unlock the full potential of clean energy abundance if the stories we tell focus on scarcity and sacrifice. Instead, let's do a better job at painting a vivid picture for our citizens of a future in which clean energy generates prosperity that is broadly shared. Climate justice, a moral force, maintains a moral force. The clarity of who is responsible should never be left behind. It remains true that countries like mine We who have contributed the least to climate change are suffering its worst impacts. Yet, we have seen the limits of what can be achieved when the climate story is focused too narrowly on blame. Zero-sum moralizing, in which for me, to win, you must lose, is counterproductive in a world in which citizens of even the wealthiest nations feel that the social contract is broken, and rising costs and diminishing opportunities are fueling what I call political rage. It calls for climate justice. If calls for climate justice are only demands for accountability about past wrongs, we'll find it very difficult to create a more just future. If we are serious about unlocking trillions in public and private investment, we need to make sure ordinary people everywhere understand that a cleaner, healthier, less expensive future is within reach.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources held a press conference on September 22, 2025, to announce the success of Operation Red Dawn 2, a major anti-poaching operation aimed at strengthening marine protection efforts and safeguarding Bahamian fisheries from illegal activity.
The Bahamas fisheries sector is a cornerstone of our economy, generating hundreds of millions of dollars each year, supporting thousands of jobs and providing a vital source of food security. For these reasons, we cannot and will not allow illegal actors to exploit our waters without consequence. The Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Department of Marine Resources, the Bahamas Customs, the Port Department, and the Office of the Attorney General worked together with the support of the Nature Conservancy and Wild Aid through the Marine Action Partnership, otherwise known as MAP, to successfully carry out this undercover investigation and interdiction of a foreign vessel allegedly engaged in illegal chartered fishing. Now, this was not just a routine patrol. It was a carefully planned covert operation designed to identify, monitor, and interdict individuals operating outside of Bahamian law. The evidence gathered indicates that the targeted vessel was operating in breach of the Fisheries Act, the Boat Registration Act, and other related laws. At the conclusion of this operation, the vessel and associated equipment were seized, and 3 arrests have been made. The matter has since been referred to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for further legal proceedings, and additional details would be released at the appropriate time. It is worth recalling that Operation Red Dawn 1, conducted earlier this year, also produced significant results. That investigation led to the conviction of 3 foreign nationals and almost totaled approximately $200,000 in paid fines and penalties, and also resulted in those convicted individuals being banned from this country for 3 years. These outcomes show that our enforcement actions are not symbolic. They are leading to convictions, fines, bans, and real accountability in the courts. The success of Operation Red Dawn 2 highlights what can be achieved when Bahamian agencies stand together with professionalism and determination. The coordination of these agencies, combined with the operational support provided through the Marine Action Partnership, demonstrates the strength of partnership in protecting Bahamian sovereignty and Bahamian resources.
The Digital Transformation Unit of the Ministry of Economic Affairs officially launched DigiLearn Bahamas, a groundbreaking national program aimed at equipping Bahamians of all ages and professions with the digital skills to enhance careers, entrepreneurship, and greater confidence in a technologically savvy world. The launch took place at Margaritaville on September 25th, 2025.
Today is a proud moment for our country as we gather to launch DigiLearn Bahamas, an initiative that represents more than a program. It represents an investment in our people and in our future. Historically, Bahamians have relied on our natural resources, creativity, and resilience to chart the course forward. In this era, the pursuit of knowledge and our ability to harness new and emerging digital technology are essential to foster the positive change that our local economy and global business climate demands. As we continue our progress as a nation by investing in infrastructure and technology, we must also diversify our skills and challenge our minds in order to further expand opportunities for development. DigiLearn will reshape our digital ecosystem by strengthening our business acumen, improving service delivery, enhancing professionals, and preparing our youth. DigiLearn also puts into action our promise to honor our senior citizens and level the digital divide. And so we must continue to promote inclusion as we empower. Our vision is for the Bahamas to become more economically competitive and sustainable. In order for this to be realized, we must ensure citizens in both public and private sectors have access to necessary tools and techniques that will enable them to individually and collectively harness their potential and thrive in this digital age. We are laying the foundation for a society that is dynamic, flexible, and ultimately rewarding for those who seek knowledge. And so DigiLearn is not only about ICT skills training, it is about creating a culture that shuns mediocrity and embraces innovation. It is, therefore, on this abiding principle that brings us here today. The Ministry of Economic Affairs is excited to partner with the IDB, the Ministry of Education, by investing over $2.4 million into an initiative that will focus on enhancing our human capital, strengthening capacity, strengthening infrastructure, and engaging administrative and technical experts.
It is a distinct honor to join you today for the launch of a groundbreaking initiative, one that will shape the future of our nation and empower our people to thrive in the digital age. It is a distinct honor to join you today for the launch of this initiative. We officially launch DigiLearn Bahamas Initiative, a bold and inclusive program designed to equip Bahamians with the digital literacy and skills essential for success in the 21st century. This initiative, as you've heard, is more than a training program. It is a national movement to learn, earn, and grow, and to build a strong digital society that benefits every citizen. Through this initiative, Bahamians, whether seniors, entrepreneurs, public service workers, or residents of New Providence and Family Islands, our teachers and students, will gain access to free, high-quality training in areas such as information and communication technology, ICT, cybersecurity, e-commerce, digital literacy and productivity tools, and much more. These are not just technical skills, they are life skills. They are the keys to unlocking new opportunities, enhancing livelihoods, and navigating the modern world with confidence. For our seniors, digital literacy will mean greater independence, whether it's accessing funds at the ATM or My Gateway services online, or staying connected with family or more. For our entrepreneurs, skills in e-commerce and ICT will open doors to new markets, streamline operations, and foster innovation. For our public service workers, digital proficiency will improve service delivery, increase efficiency, and elevate the standard of governance. And for our young people and lifelong learners, our students, these skills will be the foundation for the career and advancement and personal development and global competitiveness of our young people.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force held a two-day honors ceremony at Government House on September 25th and 26th, 2025. The event recognized officers and Marines for years of dedication, service, and achievement within the force.
But it is a distinct honor to stand before you today and pay tribute to the outstanding service and unwavering dedication of our nation's finest. On this distinguished occasion, I also wish to express sincere gratitude for the Governor General's recognition of the exemplary service and remarkable accomplishment of the members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. I am personally aware of the unseen sacrifices made in the line of your duties and wish to celebrate your heroism, meritorious service, and unwavering commitment. Before these exceptional achievements are recognized in these remarks, it is important to reflect on the journey of this organization. The story of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is one of foresight and unwavering commitment to sovereignty. The Bahamas' history as an independent nation post-1973 revealed the vulnerability of our vast archipelago. It's actually over 180,000 square miles, and particularly vulnerable to illegal drug trafficking and irregular migration. It was then that the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Lyndon Pinling recognized the need for a dedicated naval force, a People's Defense Force, to safeguard our heritage. This vision became a reality on the 31st of March, 1980, with the passing of the Defense Act, establishing the Royal Bahamas Defense Force as an official entity. Since its inception, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has been the guardian of our Bahamian heritage. Our Marines and officers have been on the front lines, not only defending our territorial waters from external threats, but also combating poaching, drug trafficking, and illegal migration. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force has consistently demonstrated its critical role in national security and has been a vital partner in humanitarian missions, standing shoulder to shoulder with our citizens during times of natural disaster. We pause to remember the solemn day of the 10th of May, 1980, when the HMPS Flamingo was attacked by Cuban aircraft while on patrol, an event where 4 brave Marines, Fenric Sturrock, Austin Smith, David Tucker, and Edward Williams made the ultimate sacrifice and laid down their lives in defense of their country. Their legacy is a stark reminder of the cost of freedom and the valor of this military force. Today, though, we celebrate this legacy as we recognize members who continue to uphold it with distinction.
And now it's time to take a look up north with Andrew Coakley of our Northern Service. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, has returned from a successful trip to Algiers, Algeria, where she led a Bahamian delegation to the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2025, or the IATF. She presented the government's partnership with the Frexim Bank on a game-changing project for the Bahamas. Minister Moxie was a keynote speaker at the opening of IATF and at the launch of the Creative African Nexus, co-producer of the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace Plan for Freeport. During a recent press conference in the Collab unit of the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Minister Moxie spoke about her trip to Africa.
So I would have recently led a delegation to Algiers, Algeria for the IATF 2025, which is the Intra-Africa Trade Fair. And it was an exciting time really for the Bahamas because we are the gateway to the Caribbean and also the Americas. I would have spoken about the establishment of the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace that's going to be here in the International Bazaar and where the Princess Tower and Casino are. And this marketplace, as I've said before, will be permanent pavilions of 55 African countries, 20 Caribbean countries, 16 islands of the Bahamas. That message was well received. We also had our exhibit depicting the project, and it was well received, and there's been a lot of interest. So we have a lot that's going on. We have a great relationship with our Frexim Bank, and we're looking to see how we work closely together so that it benefits our people. And the sky's the limit. I just want us to really appreciate what's going on now, to appreciate the moment that we are in, and to learn more and see how you as Bahamians can benefit from these initiatives that the government is focused on bringing to you to help, to help you, to help your families, because it's an extraordinary time. And I'm very excited about Grand Bahama playing such a key role in what's happening. We are the gateway to the Caribbean, and we're also, the gateway to the Americas. And so, exciting times ahead.
Marking a step towards enhancing the Defense Force's operational readiness and storage capacity, the Ministry of National Security held a contract signing ceremony for the new Royal Bahamas Defense Force storage facility. The signing took place at the Ministry of National Security on September 24, 2025.
The supply storage building is one of 7 facilities originally designed under the Sandy Bottom Project, a project initiated under a previous PLP administration, an initiative that represented a $232 million investment by the government of the Bahamas. This investment included the acquisition of 9 vessels, which were made up of 8 patrol craft and 1 auxiliary roll-on, roll-off vessel, along with the refit of the Bahama-class vessels, namely the HMBS Bahamas and the HMBS Nassau. Also involved the dredging of the harbors of Matthew Town, Brady Nagua, Gunpoint, Ragged Island, and HMBS Coral Harbor, and the construction of quay walls to provide secure berthing for those vessels. The 7 buildings were designed by the local architectural firm Diamond Consulting Group. Of these, 3 are designated for HMBS Coral Harbor. To date, the Davie Franklin Road Operation Command Center has been completed and is fully operational. Today marks the next significant milestone as we officially signed a contract for the construction of a 15,000 square foot supply storage building. The supply storage building represents the first phase in the long-term redevelopment of HMBS Coral Harbor Base. Upon completion of this structure, all storage spaces currently housed in the unfinished hotel will be relocated to the purpose-built facility. This phase of development also includes the acquisition of a marine travel lift, which will provide the capacity to dry dock the Royal Bahamas Defense Force vessels, greatly enhancing the operational readiness and sustainability of the fleet. The second phase of development at Coral Harbor will focus on replacing the remaining functions in the unfinished hotel. This includes the construction of modern facilities to house the galley and dining areas, the senior and junior rate mats, and the exchange, the gym, and the band room. Conceptual designs for these facilities have already been completed. Following the relocation of these essential spaces, the unfinished hotel will be safely imploded, creating room for much-needed additional office spaces and parking facilities. In parallel with the on-base improvements, plans are also well advanced for the construction of a new barracks facility off-base to accommodate both officers and enlisted personnel. Furthermore, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is actively seeking suitable locations to support recruit training, ensuring that future generations of Marines are prepared in the best possible environment. The construction of the supply storage building is therefore not just a single project. It is the continuation of a comprehensive, carefully phrased plan to modernize, expand, and strengthen the Royal Bahamas Defense Force's the primary base of operation. With an investment of over $3,173,000, this facility represents progress, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the future. And as we are in a season, it would behoove me not to point out that again, a PLP administration is the only administration that is advancing the development of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. As you would have heard, these buildings were designed in the Sandy Bottom project, and yet we span administrations before we again take up the mantle to not only construct these buildings, but to commit to the construction of a new flagship class vessels and to acquire 4 new fast pursuit interceptor vessels for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.